It was a great performance. You know, I was really breaking down his fight afterwards, and I wanted to see like what makes him so special. And I thought what he did was very spectacular in the first round. He was moving so much. He was bouncing in and out. He was feinting left and right, and then he throws very hard.
How would you match these two up though, Taira and Horiguchi?
This is a crazy pick, but I do think.
Okay, that's interesting. You tweeted out like Horiguchi and ... and like this kind of face, and then dude, you made some noise.
Yeah, I turned the place upside down. So Horiguchi, first off, if it caused you any sort of discomfort, I'm sorry.
Shinya Aoki, I think he was filming a YouTube video, and then someone clipped that out and put it on X, and it what we call Enjo, which is like it went up in flames, is the word we use.
We're like, I'm so family oriented in America. I'd be like, you Shinya. Simple. Shut up, dude. Yeah. It's somebody's wife. Like, where I'm holding the camera, everything's good.
Yeah, everything's cool. It's cool. You know, if you ever come to Japan, I'm gonna get you a stand so you don't have to hold your phone.
Yeah. It would be nice. It'd be nice. Like for me, to be honest, like I did a lot of social media when I was in Japan because of how important it was. I don't even have social media on my phone.
Oh, really?
I don't have X on my phone. I don't have Instagram. I don't have YouTube. I don't keep any because I don't like to be on it when I'm working. It bothers me from thinking.
Yeah, I understand.
So I keep it on my iPad and like I'll go, you know, I'll go check in and like, you know, I'll take photos from the day and repost them onto my Instagram or whatever, but I don't keep it on my phone.
That's interesting. I bet that's very productive though.
I feel more clear-headed and more productive.
Billy-san, good to see you again.
Shin-san.
How much Japanese do you remember? Because you probably don't use it at all. Okay. Very good, very good. So you're probably like the most frequent guest I've ever had. This is probably like our third video in like a little bit over a month. I enjoy it though. I really do. It's very nice. And actually, a lot of people I run into, they always comment like, oh, I like the Billy videos.
Oh, I'm super happy to hear that. And yeah, I enjoy it too. I think it's a cool perspective to get I like to get your input and really know what's kind of happening. Cause translating things off X can be difficult sometimes. I don't really understand the full depth of things. And also just be able to talk freely about the sport we love and have a good time.
Yeah, I think because you have a name in Japan and you were like JTG's coach and everything, we kind of knew you were like a very respected coach, but we actually never heard you talk about MMA in depth, at least the Japanese fans. So I think that's what a lot of people find attractive, especially fighters, because like I just ran into, I told you this, like Ogi Kubo the other day, and you know, he's like, oh, I like the Billy videos. This is very good.
I'm hyped to hear that.
Even Kyoma was like, oh yeah, Billy-san no doga omoshiroi. Like Billy's videos they're interesting. So like, oh,
cool.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, well, I guess everyone enjoys it. I enjoyed filming these with you. It's great.
Yeah. No, I like it because, you know, I was thinking like, I was talking to one of my Japanese friends recently, and even with ChatGPT or translation apps, it can be so incredibly difficult to translate the nuances and meanings of everything. And like, you can really get lost in translation. Yeah. You know, so whatever you're doing on your side is like, and allowing the fans to really understand the depth of the conversation is, I think, pretty unique actually.
Yeah, it's difficult because the nuance, especially in like MMA, and then even boxing is a little bit different from MMA. So like even if you're like a very respected translator, if you're not really within that world, it's kind of hard to translate. So a lot of translators have a hard time there, especially when you're doing it live. It's better, I guess, if the fighter can, especially if you're a Japanese fighter fighting in the UFC, if you can speak a little bit of English. Like Linya-san is really good with his English. And then,
he's good.
Yeah, very good. And like Horiguchi too, like his post-fight.
Yeah, his was good too. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed him speaking in English actually. Well, and, you know, and we have like a very interesting thing in America. It's called the American Dream. I'm sure you may have heard of it. And really what the American Dream is saying like you can be from anywhere and come to America and create a life that you dreamt of. Yeah. And be successful. And so America's pretty controversial right now, but like foreigners that do come to America and like really are trying to become successful, when they make a really genuine attempt to speak English, it's very like endearing to us. Right. It's really nice to see them trying, and like even though it's broken English and it's not perfect, it wouldn't be as meaningful if it was perfect.
Right. So I guess that's the same as Japan then, because like if a foreigner fighter wins in Ryzen, it would say Nihon daisuki or anything,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, this guy's the best.
Okay, hold on.
MyMoods 知ってますか？ポッド系ベープです。まあ、具体的に言うと、気分を変えるアイテムをコンセプトとして、まあ、この、ポッド系って言うと、これを、ポッドでしょ？
はい。
これを刺して、このまま吸える。オンとオフない。
そう、ボタン操作なしで。
使いやすい。
はい。
で、こう、たくさんポッドコーナー並んでるんですけど、ただ、これを、じゃあ、俺は今、柚子吸いたい。柚子。
めっちゃ楽じゃん。
からの、僕はやっぱレモンコークがいいやって。だからその気分を変えるっていうか、
はい、
甘いものがいいとか、
はい、
いやすっきりするこのクールミント系がいいとか、
で
気分によって変わるじゃん。
はい、
これをちょっと使ってその気分を変えられるっていう。
めちゃくちゃいいですね。
結構僕使ってます。
はい、
普通に素晴らしいです。で最近新しい味リリースして、僕が結構好きなのは。こちらですよ、レモンコーク。
はい。
あと、このマンゴーにハマってた。
マンゴー、めちゃくちゃ美味しいですよ、これ。はい。
こっちだね、ごめんなさい。
Yes。
マンゴー、レモンコーク。両方ともめちゃくちゃ美味しい。一つの箱にポッド2つ入るんですよね。それを、タバコに比べると、およそ20箱分相当だから。
そうなんだ。
そう。だから、タバコを減らしたい方、結構僕みたいに、タバコ減らしたい方なんですけど、おすすめなんですよ。たまにただ、パフしたいものが。
ね、本当にそうね。
で味は美味しいしノンニコチンあるしそのニコチンもあるのかなと思うんだよね。だからその選べられるんだよ、そのいろんな味とか種類とか、だからめちゃくちゃおすすめします。で、FamilytimeFT と格闘キャストの視聴者さんたちのためにMyMoodsさんが半額クーポンコードを発行しました。 FT30 です。皆さん FT30 使ってください。何よりも吸ってその煙がたくさん出るじゃん。なんか、なんていうの吸い心地っていうのなんか
爆煙が楽しい。い
やなんかたくさんなんか吸って全然煙がなんか何も出ないと、何も吸ってないっていう感覚なんですけど、そういう部分でその満足感があるんだよ。なんかタバコみたいな満足感があるっていうのがいいから、興味ある方は概要欄チェックしてください。クーポンコードも下に貼ってるのでお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
If a foreigner fighter wins in Ryzen, if they 日本大好き or anything, like, oh, this guy's the best.
Okay, hold on. I heard though that some of the Brazilian fighters in Japan that speak Japanese, when they speak Japanese, they're like, dude, the Japanese is just not good.
Oh, really? It might be which race is saying it, possibly.
Okay.
But like, even like Sabatello, you know, Danny Sabatello, it's like, oh, Nihon aishitemasu. Oh, yeah, he's not such a bad guy after all.
Right. Well, what I don't understand with the foreign fighters is why do they tweet in Japanese? Like Twitter or X automatically translates.
It's true.
So like,
it's true.
I only tweet in English because I'm like, it'll translate. And if it doesn't, so what?
Yeah, it's true. They kind of just tweet in Japanese and it's, they should just do it in English so they can just leave the translations up to X to do.
I think that's better, personally.
I think so too. So, we're going to talk about the Horiguchi fight, but since you mentioned X, like before the Horiguchi fight, you tweeted out like Horiguchi and ... and like this kind of face. And then, dude, you made some noise.
Yeah, I turned the place upside down. So Horiguchi, first off, if you do watch this, if it caused you any sort of discomfort, I'm sorry. I'm a fan of yours. It was not meant to be discomfort. You know, I actually, and you could probably pull it up on the screen, I sent you a text message of before they announced what the news was.
Yeah.
And so, there's a lot of different news going around. And I thought at that moment, I posted that because I had heard that he was going to go fight Moreno. And I heard that he wanted to fight Albazi, and if he got through Albazi, go fight Moreno.
Yes.
I heard that's what he wanted. So my mindset of posting that was like, oh, it's happening. Like, they're going to make a run for the title.
Right.
This is happening. It'd be undeniable if had he not, broken his hand or broken his finger, whatever happened to him, he's making a run on the title. Mm-hmm. So, and there's a lot of other things going on too. Like one of my fighters had gotten offered the fight against Albazi.
Oh, okay. Right.
And then when Horiguchi, I knew he wanted to keep it. He wanted to keep that fight. Understandably, it was a good fight for him. One of my fighters got offered the fight against Moreno. So, and things always change, and the UFC adjusts and does what's right. So it worked out the way it was supposed to. But that's what that tweet was about.
I think Horiguchi, before the fight, he kind of mentioned what you just said. And then everyone's like, oh, so that's what Billy was trying to talk about, or something along those lines.
Oh, I just thought people might come after me and say, like, that's not the case. But I mean, I have a text message with you that says it before Horiguchi said it. Like, it was truly genuine. Like, I wish him the best of luck, and it was nothing negative.
I think, when you post something and you delete it, it actually becomes more of a, what do you say? There's more of a mystery to it. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the psychology of like, you caught them trying to cover something up. And that kind of makes it spread even more. So there was a little bit of that too. And I think most people thought that when you tweeted that out, that, oh, he's out with an injury or something like that, their minds kind of just went to that. And then, do you actually know why this whole throwing a fight thing actually came to be?
Yes, there's been an unfortunate thing going on in the UFC where there's been a couple of cases where fighters, like, last minute on betting apps, the odds change. Like, the favorite in the fight somehow becomes the underdog, like, right before the fight.
Right.
And so it just happened with Alex Hernandez and Michael Johnson. We're going to fight on the Paddy Pimblett card that just happened. And it got pulled the same day or the day before. And it was because, like, supposedly somebody had leaked information about an injury or something. And then all of a sudden, like, people started betting big amounts of money. And so I knew that, the UFC is just, like, very sensitive about that. So that's where that's coming from. They just want to make sure it's a fair sport and there's no, like, nothing bad going on, no unethical things happening. The UFC is very, very much so about, fair play.
Yeah. But, like, the fans kind of just made that up, literally. Like, from what I understand, there's this one English-based account, and he was like, if Albazi beats Horiguchi, I won't even know what to think about this sport, or something along those lines.
Right.
And then somehow you posting Kyoji and that post, they kind of somehow pieced those two together and thought, like, oh my god, Horiguchi's gonna throw a fight.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, which is just, I mean, it's pretty crazy how they jumped to conclusions, and it was that.
I was thinking about it. I was just like, well, it doesn't really mean anything if there's no movement in sports gaming. So, like, all of that speculation is fine. It doesn't really matter. I guess it's like, that's just drama. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Shogunai.
I mean, looking from the outside, I thought it was kind of not funny, but it was interesting how, like, that simple thing can, like, explode into something like this. Not explode, but, like, how people could jump to conclusions and then it just, like, escalates so fast.
Yeah. Well, it's just like it could snowball out of nowhere. You never know what's going to go viral. And I certainly didn't think that was going to go viral, to be honest with you. Yeah, I think also what I'm kind of surprised about, and maybe I just have a wrong perception of this, but like, the amount of negativity on X specifically, I know it's like, they're just X people doing whatever, but like around different fighters and different comments that happen, it's like, I get it, but I feel like if I were Japanese, there's only like 5 fighters in Japan in the UFC, I'd support all of them.
Yeah.
Why is there any negativity? Just think about it like the Olympics.
Yeah, if it's the Olympics, you just automatically support your country. It doesn't matter what athlete is, competing for your country. It's just like Team Japan. Right. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like anytime a Japanese fighter is fighting, it's like, it's only going to be positive because all we want is for them to win, whether you like them or not. So whether it's Kai fighting or Hiromoto fighting, because I know they have like opposite fan groups,
Yeah.
It's like, who cares? Let's support them.
It's true. Yeah, that's a interesting topic. We can talk about that a little bit later because I have some questions about Kai.
All right.
Can we talk about the Horiguchi fight? What did you think? It was quite a dominant performance, but I mean, he didn't get the finish. How was it?
It was a great performance. I was really breaking down his fight afterwards, and I wanted to see like what makes him so special. And then I also I actually went back and watched his 3 losses that he had, and what makes him so special and what he's doing now. And I thought what he did was very spectacular in the first round. He was moving so much. He was bouncing in and out. He was feinting left and right. And then he throws very hard. Like his attacks are very like, he's clashing.
Yeah.
He's throwing a jab straight, or he's throwing a straight hook, or like he throws 2 straight combos very hard.
Yes.
And clashes. Or he throws kind of just like an open hook just to get a feel. And so what I thought about that was, one, it makes him very hard to hit and very hard to read, but it's allowing him to see what you do, see what his opponent does. And so, I think on the positive side in that first round, he gets to dictate the pace of the fight. And he's very hard to read. And I think Japanese guys tend to struggle when they're striking with feints and setups in the UFC, at least.
Okay.
And so with all of that movement and the lateral movement, naturally, I think he's fainting.
Okay.
Whether he's trying to or not, I don't know, but he naturally is fainting versus if you watch like strikers from Japan that come to the UFC, they throw with the intention to hurt somebody, but they don't set it up as well, I thought.
Okay.
That was kind of my takeaway. Now, the risk is, since he clashes, he's just as open to get hurt in the first round. He leaves himself very open, and it looked like 2 times Albazi stuck him with like maybe a right, like an overhand. I'd have to rewatch it. Like at the 2-minute, 30-second mark, it looked like he kind of caught him with something. Maybe didn't hurt him, but you're kind of running into punches. So, and kind of like with Kai and Horiguchi when they fought, like it was a clash in the beginning, and Kai was able to knock him out in a minute, you know. But then, you know, moving on to the rest of the fight, I felt like coming into the second and third round, he knew what Albazi was going to do. He knew Albazi's defensive reactions, how to draw out attacks, and it seemed like he was able to like tactically put together a great plan to score points and win. And, you know, he hurt him in that second round. And then in the third round, it looked like Horiguchi was really looking for the finish. Yeah. And just opened it up and was like the, you know, very exciting Horiguchi we all know. So, yeah, I thought it was a master class. It was great.
Yeah.
You know, he was all the hype.
Albazi was tough because he was in trouble, I think, at least twice. He was wobbled, but he kind of managed to, you know, make it through. I mean, Albazi was tough, so, like, I don't know what the MMA fans over there think, but, like, Horiguchi not getting the finish isn't really such a big deal, I feel like. Maybe it was if he wanted to, like, go from here to get a title match. Maybe if he had a spectacular finish, it would be a little bit more of a stamp of approval from the UFC, possibly, I'm not sure. But as far as, like, the performance-wise and the fight-wise, it was great.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have those special fighters that can make 3-round fights exciting. And it's rare that you have fighters like that, but he's one of them. And it was a very exciting match. I think I watched the fight with staff of the UFC, not fighters, like staff. And everyone was excited to watch him fight. And I was really overwhelmingly positive.
That's cool. That's cool. I think you mentioned he hurt his right hand or broke his right hand somewhere in the first round. I'm not sure how bad it is. I don't think that that information has come out yet. But yeah, he was just still punching with it, huh?
Yeah, he was going for it, and I thought that it was like a very thought out approach, and he obviously has a great team and a great coaching staff, and I think he had a really good game plan. And when he knew, you know, it was getting late in the fight, I think he started opening it up, and you know, he went for it. So I thought it was great overall. It was a great performance.
The octagon in is it the Apex? That's like smaller, right? So like
smaller, yeah.
Horiguchi would have a better time if it was like a number series.
Right. Probably because all of his motion would have been good. I mean, I think so. Like in the UFC PI, you can actually train in an Apex size octagon and in a numbered card size octagon. So they're about I don't know the exact dimensions, but it's like 30 feet in diameter for the number card and like 27 feet or 27 and a half feet. So quite a bit shorter.
Is the canvas made of the same material for both octagons? Because I think Horiguchi was saying this time it was like really slippery or something like that. Is it like always the same?
Yeah, from my experience, it's always been the same. It is very slippery. Okay. Like it is slippery. You know, in the Apex not the Apex, the PI, like we train on the fresh canvas with all the logos on it. It's slippery. So you gotta make sure pour some water and if you can on the in the corner and wet your feet before you get in there. So right. Yeah, it's slippery. And it's actually kind of interesting because in Ryzen, they provide you with a spray bottle in the corner, which is great because you can spray your fighters' feet right before they fight so they can get some grip. In the UFC, I don't think they provide you with a spray bottle. I don't remember ever having one.
Are you allowed to bring your own?
I don't know. I'm not sure. The more that I think about it, I'm not sure.
Right. That's interesting.
Yeah. Actually, certainly you can't bring your own. Okay. Now, if you could put water on their feet though, with like the water bottles that they provide, I would have to ask. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I would imagine the UFC is very strict about their rules and
very strict
stuff like that.
But yeah, it's slippery, especially like around that monster sign, that big can that's in the middle.
Right.
If that gets any sweat on it or blood or anything, like it is slippery. Like I've seen, it's slippery, bro.
Right. I guess also the more fights that occur in that octagon, the more slippery it's gonna get. So if you're like towards the end of the card, then yeah, you're gonna have a hard time getting your grip.
For sure, but I do believe it is new canvas every single event.
Okay.
I don't. It's not like reused canvas, from my understanding. It's always a new one.
Okay. Amir trying to clip Horiguchi with that right. Kai, that's kind of how he finished Horiguchi. He kind of rocked him with that the same timing right hand. And I think Tagir and Amir were both looking for it, and they had the timing right, but like Horiguchi would also slip, so they would just hit nothing.
Well, I think you see it like if you watch some of the slower motion clips of Horiguchi throwing, he like leads. It's almost like he's looking to land that left hook to find his range. It seems like that, and maybe because he's a shorter fighter, he's trying to like find that range with his left hook. And I'm sure if he touches that, he knows he could fire that straight. I would think. Maybe that's not what his plan is, but it almost looks like he's starting to dip his head a little bit more as he's entering because of that reason.
Right.
And so I'd wonder, like, if you are a fighter that's not able to hop in and out, like match Horiguchi's pace, what's the best strategy? And I think maybe if you have a guy that could throw numbers on Horiguchi, would be you either time him and he can walk into a punch, or you got to throw numbers on him.
Right. Yeah, you have to be able to get in range to actually even throw punches at him because he's very fast at the in and out and he moves around.
Everyone seems reactive. Like it's not like, it doesn't seem like they're fighting their game plan. It seems like they're fighting to
It's true.
Horiguchi's game plan because of all that motion and the unpredictability.
It's true. But then what are you going to do, I guess? Like,
I think if you have a guy that, is tough and can kind of hold their ground and have some good defense and maybe be able to take one or to give one and throw in numbers, I think maybe that could slow him down.
Right.
I think the most dangerous thing about Horiguchi is how smart he is and how much experience he has. And so, like, if you don't take advantage of that first round with Horiguchi and he figures you out, he's probably going to win.
Right. Okay. But then, like, let's say like a striker like Van, if you just to get the striking, might have a chance. But then if Horiguchi could take him down and like throw him off there, then the game kind of changes, right?
Yeah, I would guess against Van, he would look to take him down, or at least threaten to take down, just to kind of, because that would add to that level change. So then Van would have to respect his level change. Horiguchi's got great calf kicks.
Yeah.
And especially with a boxer that stands up straight, like I think he'd be trying to eat up those legs. Yeah, I mean, Horiguchi's dynamic enough. I think he'd be fine. But that'd be a dangerous one because I think Van he's got power, and like if he did put one on the button, it could hurt him.
Yeah, he's got great timing too. So like,
he's
a great counter puncher. So he would probably have to try to catch Horiguchi coming in would be his best bet because it doesn't look like he has at least the speed with his feet to keep up with him or catch him moving. I would imagine.
I think he'd have to keep forward pressure and just try to walk him down.
Yeah.
I think he'd really have to try to walk him down. I think Horiguchi bests him in the wrestling and bests him in the grappling, although I think Van would probably escape and could scramble. I do think Horiguchi kind of has him there. So I don't know. I think it's the veteran. You see how the veteran would do against the young guy. I think that's actually a very exciting fight and a very tough fight. So
do you feel like Horiguchi's at his best right now or like his peak is right now compared to his younger days? What do you think about that?
I don't know. I don't know because some of his losses I don't think are like, they're just things that happen in MMA. Like I think the Kai loss, like obviously he came back and avenged that loss and looked great. I think the Sergio Pettis loss, like I think he was doing great in the fight, to be honest with you. Yes. So like that's just something that happens. So yeah, he's just really good, man. I don't know if he's better. Right. I don't know if he's peaking or not. He's just really good. And I think in his older age, as long as he doesn't have a sensitive chin, he's going to be a tough guy to beat.
I guess that's like the only thing we can imagine happening to Horiguchi, or if he were to lose, is like he just gets clipped. Because there's kind of this thing where like, he doesn't have the strongest chin. Utare yoai, which we say in Japanese, like he can't take a shot, I guess, simply put. But like the shots he took were pretty nasty. So like, I don't know if it's like that he's not, like.
I don't agree with that. I was just looking at his Tapology. He's fought like 35 wins and like 4 losses in his career, and like it just happens. Like sometimes punches just get through,
Yeah.
You can say whatever you want, but like it's a learning experience for fighters. Like every time they go in there, they're learning. And so like, he's got 40 pro fights or whatever it is. Like he has a lot of wisdom and a lot of experience, and he's faced a lot of adversity in different positions. And so I don't think we say chinny. We say like
chinny. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah.
I don't think he is.
Yeah. I would agree.
I think you get caught with a spinning back fist, or Kai's obviously like a very good striker. So like, if you get caught with any of that stuff, it's just dangerous.
Yeah. So he made it past Amir, and I think he's ranked like the 5th now.
Yeah.
Went up a couple of rankings. I guess who would you want to see him fight next? It doesn't look like UFC is going to give him an instant shot at the title because just by the fact that they're trying to make him fight Moreno.
Yeah, but I think that Moreno thing was just an opportunity. I think it was like that they were saying, "Hey, let's cancel your fight against Amir and let's just put you against Moreno in 2 weeks because it's a more high profile fight." I don't know. I think honestly anything could happen.
Right.
Horiguchi's really loved by the American fans. He's a known name. He gets spoken about very highly and he backs it up. So who knows what could happen? I think we really need to see what happens with Pantoja.
Right.
Like, is he actually healthy? I heard he's healthy. Can he go back and fight Van right away? Are they going to give Van to somebody else and then Pantoja challenges? You know, I don't know what's going to happen.
Okay.
I do think the most deserving for the title fight outside of Pantoja is the most deserving for a rematch. But if you exclude him, the most deserving is Manel.
Yeah, I think you mentioned this last time.
He deserves it the most by far, I think. He fought Pantoja to a great decision and he's just been on a tear. But I don't know if he'll get it. I think I have a feeling it's going to be Tatsuro, but I don't know.
Tatsuro versus Van would be a great fight. I mean, basically, this is what it is, though. Cape, Van, as long as he has the belt, Taira, Horiguchi, like, they're all going to eventually fight each other.
Right.
Like, there's no way around it, right? They're going to kind of go around.
For sure.
But what I kind of realized after Horiguchi beat Amir is that, like, eventually, Taira and Horiguchi are going to have to fight. Like, it's going to happen sometime.
Yeah. You know, I think that I don't see why they would fight them now.
Yeah.
But that's even possible. Like if Manel gets the title fight, I mean, that's not a crazy fight to match up. But the thing is, Tatsuro's healthy and he's ready from what I think we've seen him post and how he's acting.
Yeah.
And if you actually saw him, you saw how he was in the stands. They like panned over to him and you see his manager like give him the thumbs up, like, dude, you're next. You can do this. So you never know. You never know.
It'll be interesting. I think. I mean, us fans, we would like to see them do it for the belt. One of them has it, one of them is challenging for it, but who knows what's going to happen. How would you match these two up, though, Taira and Horiguchi?
If they fought each other?
Yeah. I'm putting you on the spot a little bit because...
Well, yeah, I know, because like there's no right answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and like truthfully, and I'm not saying this to like protect my answer, but either of them could win.
Yeah.
Now, I would think like you would look at and say, hey, the experience and the past people that Horiguchi's beaten would make him the favorite. I think he'd be the favorite going into the fight. And, you know, we did see Tatsuro lose to Royval, but Royval's very long and Tatsuro showed like incredible toughness. This is a crazy pick, but I do think Tatsuro beats him.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's interesting. What advantages would you give Taira, and where do you think Horiguchi edges him?
You know, I think Horiguchi bounces in on a lot of shots. He throws very heavy strikes. He's bouncing in. He's throwing heavy calf kicks, heavy 2-punch combos for the most part, 1 to 2 punch combos. You know, I think Tetsuro's very long. And, I mean, just seeing what he's done on the ground, like if you look at Moreno and how good Moreno's jiu-jitsu is, because it's high level. I mean, watch his fights with Pantoja if you have any questions. And then look what he did to Moreno. I think Tetsuro takes him down and puts him into deep water.
Okay.
You know? Now, there's obviously a chance I think Horiguchi throws so hard he could knock him out. Or if the fight were to go into later rounds, I think Horiguchi would best him just by experience. But yeah, to be honest, I think Tetsuro beats him.
Okay, that's interesting. That's an interesting fight.
It's a great fight. And I don't mean any disrespect to either fighter. I think it's honestly a 50-50. I think Horiguchi would be the favorite, but I don't know, just looking at momentum as we've spoken about and kind of just what's going on, I like what Tetsuro's doing.
Right. Also, like, it depends when they do it, because I would imagine Horiguchi, I mean, just by thinking of his age and how long his career is, would be eventually we're going to start seeing a downhill. And then Taira is kind of like coming up. So, like, as far as time goes, that's usually what happens. So I guess it'll be when they kind of meet up.
If it's going to happen, I think it'll happen sooner than later.
Okay. Yeah, the fight itself.
Yeah, I think it'll be like within the next 2 years. I mean, I think the flyweight division moves very fast because, you know, like think of how many times you see guys frequently fighting. Top 10 guys fight pretty often. So I think we'll see it happen. If it does happen within the next 2 years.
2 years, though, is like, as far as Horiguchi, I think he's 36, I believe, or 34.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. Like 2 years could make a pretty big difference at that age. What do you think?
Well, yeah, but for some reason, it seems like Japanese people just age very well, and so like, I don't know. It seems like if it was an American guy, I'd be like, yeah, no chance. But Japanese guys seem to age well, and they seem to be healthy, and I think it's possible. I don't know. I don't know Horiguchi well enough to like make a claim about his health. You know,
Right. Japanese people age well. It is actually a little bit true though.
of course.
They just look younger, right? Like overall.
Listen, if you take Japanese girls compared to like American girls, a 30-year-old Japanese girl looks like a 25-year-old American girl.
Yes, it's true.
And as they get older, the difference gets bigger. You know, like a 40-year-old Japanese girl probably looks like a 29-year-old.
Yeah.
Like
It's true though. It's true.
Japanese have good genetics. Like you guys, like overall speaking, like great skin, great demeanor. It seems like you guys are kind of low stress generally. Like American people, I'm 29. I got wrinkles, you know, like we just age differently.
Yeah, there is that thing, for sure. It's interesting to like see you mention out like as far as fighters' performances, it's like that as well. Like they age like a little bit better.
They do, but also it's the weight class. Like I think flyweights age better than every other weight class. I think you had somebody on that said something different, but I think the flyweights, they're more resilient. They're not taking that extreme damage that like featherweights and above are taking. So I do think that like bantamweights, you know, look at Jose Aldo, how long he fought.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, bantamweights, flyweights they can last longer.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe 2 years Horiguchi's still doing his thing. There's no decline in his performance as well. That would be pretty interesting. And then I guess Taira would have to match that. But
yeah,
Taira is still coming up, right? Like his growth is pretty fast, I believe.
It seems like he's doing all the right things. I mean, I'm friends with some people that manage him, and I don't know a lot about what he does, but from what I have heard, I think he does all the right things. He trains hard. He's learning from his coaches, and then also gets advice from other coaches. And I think he's out in Colorado quite a bit, and I think he's been down in like at Arizona in the Fight Lab, I think. So yeah, he's doing it, man. Listen, if you're in the UFC and you're young, you need to be traveling. I'm not gonna say America's the end all be all, but like you need to be traveling, going to other gyms, getting other looks. Like to stay in one place is a mistake. Even as an American, if you're an American UFC fighter and you just stay in Las Vegas, that's a mistake. Travel, like go to other gyms, get other experience. You need to.
Right. Yeah, Horiguchi Taira. That's good.
Yeah.
I did mention this concept where the Japanese versus Japanese is kind of like the biggest thing us Japanese fans want to see. Yeah. Opposed to a Japanese versus a foreigner fighter. So like in that sense, Taira versus Horiguchi at the top would be the biggest thing. But I mean, I personally think would be the most dramatic is Cape fights Van. And then just by that, a lot of us Japanese fans would be very unhappy. And then Cape beats Van and has the belt. And then when Taira or Horiguchi goes and challenges him for him would be the most like dramatic kind of match I could think of at least.
Yeah, I think it's super exciting because I think you have like two things going on here. You have Cape, who fought in Rizin, was a Rizin champ. And I don't know if it's like amongst the fans, but I think there was a little bit of controversy there when he was the champ. Or maybe how he left, you know, by like he didn't give back the belt or whatever that thing was. Like something happened. I don't know what it was. But then you have Horiguchi, Rizin champ, and then you have Tetsuro, who like kind of went against traditional Japanese MMA and he focused straight on the UFC. Yeah. And he skipped all of Rizin, you know. So I think you have two things going on. You have like, okay, who's gonna be the first Japanese champ? And then it's kind of Rizin versus the UFC if it's Horiguchi and Tetsuro or Tetsuro and Cape.
I guess so. Yeah. Sure. I never thought about it like that.
So it shows, I think it shows a couple different like perspectives that are fun, you know?
Yeah. It's interesting. I really do hope we can like get this flyweight thing moving.
Me too.
When are they going to announce the next fight?
You know, hopefully soon. I think they're about to, I guess like today was the day where I saw Dana White announce that they were going to finalize or confirm fights for the White House. And that's like what everybody in America's focused on is the fight at the White House. I would think a Japanese fighter would be on it just because there's a lot of positive relationships going on between the American and Japanese government.
Okay. Interesting point. That's a very interesting point.
Like I believe your prime minister just said that she was going to donate, I think it was prime minister, so sorry if I got that wrong, but she's going to donate 250 cherry blossoms to the White House maybe.
Okay.
So like there's good relationships happening. So I would think that a Japanese guy is going to be on the card.
That's very interesting. She said that. It's true now. Like I can kind of imagine it. So that would be Taira or Horiguchi.
Yeah, and with Horiguchi hurt, you'd think it's Taira.
Oh, okay, right.
Because that's soon. I mean, I don't know how bad Horiguchi's, if it's broken or if he needs surgery or whatever. I have no idea. But if he does, I mean, he's out probably 3-4 months.
Would it have to be a title match, though, at the White House? Is it kind of like this is all title match kind of card? Not really, right?
Well, I think there's a lot of like suspense on what's going to happen. They announced at one point it was going to be like all title matches, but I don't think that that's possible because I saw that like maybe certain countries can't participate at the White House card.
Right.
So
the Russians.
yeah. So I don't know if that's even true. First of all. I don't know if that's true, but so we'll see what happens.
Right. But they would probably want an American to fight. I was trying to say, like, they're probably trying to find an American to fight a Japanese fighter. Would that matter? Like, can it be like Van, who's not like really? I guess he's kind of more American, but he's not really.
Again, like it's the land of America, like the American dream. Like we have a lot of immigrants that come here, and like as much as we are very prideful as Americans, like America is mixed cultures. You know, so I don't think it's just going to be like like Justin Gaethje, just a white American guy.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it's just going to be that.
Okay, so then Van versus Taira it's very possible, I guess.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I could see that happening.
That'd be dope at the White House.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Jeez.
That'd be a cool fight.
God. Yeah, because they're only going to do this once, right? Probably at the White House. So like, all the UFC fighters kind of just want to get in there.
Yeah, everybody wants to be in there. Everybody wants to go. It's going to be the most special thing. It's going to be an amazing event. And I've heard a lot of rumors, so I don't even know it's true, to be honest, but there might be like a massive stadium. I think they're going to be able to house like 100,000 people somehow.
Jeez.
Yeah, so like it's going to be very exciting. And plus just being in America during the month of July, I mean, that's like our Independence Month. 4th of July is our Independence Day. It's an exciting time in America. So
yeah. Taira at the White House would be amazing.
Oh, it would be unreal. It would be insane. I mean, American people, like, it doesn't matter what race you are or what country you're from. If you come to America to visit the White House, for the most part, we can all only go so far and look at it. Like, nobody can get in. Right. Like, impenetrable by Americans or non-Americans. Like, so it's like a really special thing. And I really would think, because if you look at like immigration law and different things, like America has a very, very, very good relationship with Japan. It's relatively easy to immigrate to America from Japan and to Japan from America to America. Sorry if I mixed it up, but I could see it happening.
Yeah, hopefully you'll be able to corner one of your fighters there too, right?
My fingers are crossed. I think I have a chance.
That's cool. This is a little bit off topic, but it's kind of along the Horiguchi Albazi fight. Shinya Aoki, I think he was filming a YouTube video, and then someone clipped that out and put it on X, and it what we call angel, which is like it went up in flames, is the word we use. Okay. So I'm not sure if you had a chance to look at this, but the gist of it is Horiguchi's YouTube is run by his wife and Horiguchi. And then what the concept of it is, the wife kind of asks questions, Horiguchi talks, and that's what the content is. And so what Aoki mentioned in his video was the wife has this need to be acknowledged. And looking at that is a little bit embarrassing. It's a little bit cringe for me. She should be in the background where she should be. It's kind of like seeing a corner man, trying to get praise. Yeah. Whereas his fighter should be the main thing that's being the main focus of everyone. And so someone clipped that out, and it kind of went up in flames. And then Horiguchi responded, and he was like, "You guys can say whatever you want about me, but don't talk bad about my wife. She's working as a talent right now, and she's very busy, and I would like her to work. She's very successful as a talent as well, so I would like her to focus there too, but she actually makes the time to make these YouTube videos with me." So that's what he kind of replied with, and then everyone's kind of just jumping on Aoki. It's kind of
Shinja Aoki.
Yeah. Yeah. He has a good job of making content like that.
What do you mean talent? Like she's like an influencer?
Like a talent って日本語でなんて言うんだ? Like,
I mean, if she's a model, I know she was like a ring girl before, and like she's a good looking woman, and I get it. Yeah, like I'm so family oriented in America. I'd be like, yeah, fuck you, Shinya. Simple, fuck you, shut up, dude. Yeah. Like it's somebody's wife. Like, now again, I know that sounds aggressive. I don't really mean it towards Shinya, but because I don't know the context. You know, I can never tell on YouTube, especially with the Japanese like translation problem. Like, you know, I don't know. Do you think that she's overstepping? Like,
No, I mean, like, that's kind of what makes the content. Without her, like, there would be no content.
Yeah, but like that, and the thing is, like, that's his wife. And second off, I think it's kind of cool. Like, you don't actually see like a lot of these fighters in Ryzen, like their girlfriends in their personal life. Like, they're kind of like it's so focused just on them. Like, whether they're like playboys or not playboys, who knows? But you know, I personally think it's cool to have very family oriented, and you know, he's bringing his girl involved, and they're having this amazing experience in America. And like, I mean, how special? You know, most people can't do that. They're like, they're not lucky enough to do that. So. Yeah, I'm on Horiguchi's side with this one.
I think most people are. Most people are. But I wanted to ask you about like if this was America, like if this was like, you know, like this American MMA community.
Yeah.
Would something like this actually like would it Enjo, like would it actually like go up in flames, like a comment like what Shinya made?
No, I don't think so. Like in that context, like I don't know how he said it, but if he just said it like, oh, I think she's just, you know, it seems like she wants to get a lot of attention. In America, I don't know, but we do have boundaries. Like, don't talk about somebody's wife or children or, you know, family like in a negative. Like, don't do that. That's such a low blow. It's such a weak point. You know, unless they did something that was so outlandish that you can comment on. So, like, a good example is like Ian Gary. A lot of people attack his wife, and there is there's some evidence as to why you would attack her. She has like done things out in public that are kind of questionable, but at the same time, it's like, dude, that's Ian's wife, and that's the mother of his child. Like, don't say that.
Okay, yes, that's understandable. But like what Aoki said, and I'm not like trying to defend Aoki or by any means or like stuff like that, but like, is it that offensive what he said? Because it's just his opinion on the content is what I'm saying. It's not like a personal attack on her or anything like that.
Well, who knows? Maybe Horiguchi's been living a lot in America, and he knows how American men are protective over their women. So, like, maybe Horiguchi's taking on some American culture. And like, I don't know. It doesn't sound to me like it's too offensive, but hey, it's good content, and it's good for Horiguchi to say, hey, don't talk about my wife, because he's creating like a YouTube platform where his wife's involved, and I think it's really going to be a positive channel for couples and for young kids that have maybe traditional values of getting married and finding virtue in that, and have its own set of fans, you know, just as Aoki has his own set of fans. So I think that conflict actually is a good thing. Again, I don't know Aoki at all. I'm a fan of him as a fighter. I think he's a great martial artist, and I don't know if it's just because of the way his voice sounds. He sounds a little bit evil, or he smokes a bunch of cigarettes. He sounds either evil or he's chain smoking cigarettes. So I don't know, but he's often controversial, right? So it's kind of like maybe his fans or the people that like don't like him but watch his stuff, like they're waiting just to latch on to anything.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, who knows?
On the other hand, though, if Seiko wants to go to the UFC, I do think Aoki's a good coach for her to work with.
Yeah, they seem to like kind of like each other. I mean, they're kind of similar in that kind of way. Well, I don't know if you can call Izawa a heel, but she kind of is a heel a little bit.
Is she?
A little bit. Like
what, does she talk? Does she trash talk? Like, so the Izawa that I know is super sweet and super kind and just like the nicest person ever. So that's the only Izawa I know.
Right. Do you watch like the confessions and like the Ryzen promotion videos and stuff like that?
When I can auto dub them in English, yes, but they don't. For some reason, that feature doesn't always work. So
yeah, I think maybe it was just like some against certain opponents that she kind of like. No, I guess it is trash talk, a little bit of a trash talk thing going. But I mean, just from judging on the comments on Twitter and YouTube and whatever, but she's not a very like liked fighter.
Really?
That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
she's the strongest. She's the strongest, but it's not like we all support Izawa Seika. There's not a lot of fans like that.
Yeah. So I have no idea. I guess you're right. I think like you see like an overwhelming amount of positivity for Kate Lotus. Or at least I do on X. Like it seems like everything about Kate Lotus is positive. And then I do see like Izawa, well, mostly is positive, but I guess I could see what you're saying. But I think she's kind of funny. Like when Kyoma commented on Patchy Mix's photo or whatever and posted like the syringe, and then he posted like something in English. I don't remember what it was, but and then Seika commented English and then the clapping emoji. It's kind of funny.
Yeah,
because Kyoma can't speak English at all.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think she just puts it on for, you know, the show of it, the character, the kind of like, I don't know if it's called the heel, but she's kind of just always angry. Just because she kind of has like, she kind of has this I'm angry at the world kind of attitude when the cameras are rolling.
I think she like, I mean, listen, she's so good because I think her like siblings, she like trained with boys her whole life. So like, I think she's used to being around guys and training with guys and kind of like banter, if you will, that guys have. So maybe that's some of it, you know. Maybe. So again, I don't know. I don't watch, I guess, enough content. So.
I'm sure she's loved by her fans as well. But yeah, she's kind of like the Aoki. I can see why Aoki likes her.
That's kind of that's the duo we need.
Yeah, I'm not sure how far we'll delve into it, but it's about Asakura Kai. What kind of connection did you have, and what kind of connection do you have now is the question. What does Hiramoto Ren need to do to make it to the UFC? What kind of skills does he need? What's he lacking in his game?
He can't wrestle or grapple.
Right.
Honestly, Master Bridge, I kind of like you. I do like you, actually. You're a cool guy. We did an interview together once. I like him. But you call out Hiroya again, like, dude. Like, come on, dude.
Another one. Recently on X, there's this topic of, do we need jiu-jitsu and MMA? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, you need jiu-jitsu. Of course you do. Now. I don't mean it as an attack on them.
No, I think it's okay, Billy. It's all right.